Hello, everybody. Sorry for the lighting, as it's hard. It's hard with this camera when it's just to get light, but you can see things very well. And I want to go over the Denver Buffalo game from Week 16, 2011, as well as talk about the quarterback by committee. Let's get started. Oh, what can I say about today other than they did a very good job today of working within Tebow's strengths, and they did another amazing job about maximizing his weaknesses. Again, how do you maximize his weaknesses? The first thing you do is you give him no tight ends or weaker tight ends. Congratulations. Yes, Daniel Fells got a touchdown, but I'd be interested to see what would happen if he had the everyday solid good tight end and a good blocking tight end. I'd be interested to see. That's about it with that. Now, they maximized his weaknesses again by having him play a lot of third down and longs instead of putting him on the bench and maybe putting in a nice pocket passing quarterback. And because obviously the biggest weakness Tim Tebow has is pocket passing and making those effective Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers when he does it, or top quarterback passes, that is. And that's really where quarterback by committee comes into play. Because when you want to minimize the weaknesses of Tim Tebow, that is one of the things that you would consider doing, is having another quarterback ready to go back and forth, the 1-2 guys, to a 1-2 punch, and working it very well. Another quarterback that would need that would be Joe Webb. Man, that would be so dangerous with him as a 1-2 combo. But like Tebow, as fun as it would be Tebow and Webb working together, it would be better if they had some other quarterback to go with it. But you know what? This is just my ideology. I've been thinking about this for the last 8-9 months, how a 2-quarterback system would work, and I'm extremely confident that it would, and it's never been done. So this is what I'm doing. I'm putting this video out now. It's late 2011, and maybe 2-3 years down the road, maybe we can find out. I was talking about what is correct, and that the 2B QB system actually works. Now, they continue to minimize his strengths, Tim Tebow. Why would you go for one point, an extra PAT, when you score a touchdown and you have a penalty on the defense? 4. You got to say to yourself, what's the mathematical percentages that I'm going to make this play? A 2-point conversion from the 1-yard line. It's probably going to be a Tim Tebow run, but what's the mathematical percentages that it will work? If you think it's 40%, yeah, go ahead and kick it and then try to rebuild your team. But if you think it's 60, 70%, which I think it is, and I think Denver's like 2 of 2 or 3 of 3 this year on 2-point conversions anyway, but it works out long term that it would win the game. Now, I've done Madden seasons like this. I think I've done this overall 40, 50 games. I thought my offense was good enough where I can go for 2 most of the time. And only once has it ever made a difference. And it made a difference to a 1-point win when I went for 2 and got it, basically. You go for 2 after a touchdown, it's either 6-0, 8-0 after your first score. But instead, they take the 5-yard penalty. Instead of kicking off at the 35, they kick off at the 40. Each way it should go out of the stadium. So really, it's not like the penalty is worth much anyway. Another thing, and I don't see this in the NFL, is when you have a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. That means the ball's at the 50. I've never ever seen team have that nice little 15, 20-yard onside kick run where if they happen to miss, then it's not that big of a deal. But again, that's something else on the issue. And there's actually one other thing that I wanted to go over on situational football and risk versus reward, because some people say, I don't want to take risks, I'm going to play the safe mode, but they oftentimes don't see what the other situation is. And I want to give a perfect example of such a case. And let's say you got 2 dominant offenses playing each other. Obviously the Green Bay Packers and is a good one, and well, why not use the New England Patriots again? Let's say you have a situation, it's in the 4th quarter, and the New England Patriots lead by 4 points. They're up by 4, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, and let's assume that your opponents have a total of no timeouts, so they're out of timeouts. But you got 4th down and we'll say 2 at your own 25-yard line. What do? 4th down and 2 at your own 25. 2 something left. The 4-point game, we'll say it's 41-37. High-scoring affair. Or 39-35. That's a good one. 39-35 is the score. What do? Do you punt it or do you go for it? Because you got to look at risk-reward and say to yourself, okay, here's the risk if we go for it. The risk is if we do not succeed on making the 1st down, then they're going to be close to the red zone to win the game, basically. But what's the reward? Well, the reward is we get a 1st down, we'll kneel down and win the game because they got no timeouts left. The thing will stop at the 2-minute warning and we can just kneel down from then on in. So if you do the safe play, you might just want to punt. But then you want to look at risk-reward calculations. What's the chances that you make this 1st down? Well, maybe we'll say it's 70%. Okay, so 70% of the time you'll make the 1st down, 30% of the time you will not. Which means 70% of the time you're going to win, and of the 30% you might win, we'll say 74 or 75% of the time overall you'll win by going for it. Now if you look at the punting situation, what's the chances that they're going to score on you if you punt the ball? Is it 60%? 65%? Most likely they won't leave you any time left if they do. So yeah, the risk-reward pot odds, mathematical odds says you would go for it there. That's why I go back to this whole Tim Tebow quarterback by committee deal is, what would be Denver's chances of success if they had Tim Tebow working with another quarterback, and then when it's strong to put Tebow on the sideline, you put him on there. Now another advantage of quarterback by committee is injuries. When you have a guy getting hurt, well, you're fine. You got a guy who's been working with the offense, another one of your starters, now he has to go the rest of the game by himself, which quarterbacks do all the time anyway. And also, you can stop guys from getting hurt because they're not out there all the time. And another advantage is this. Let's assume it's the 3rd quarter, and you're down by 20 points, or you're down by 16, 17, 14. And now you can run the hurry-up offense, and I wish teams could run it faster than other ones, because I really get annoyed when I see teams not run the hurry-up or run it well when they should. But when you hurry it up well, you got a 40-second play clock. You should be able to snap the ball with about 28 seconds on it. And when you have play calls, all you need to do is call one play, which might be Blue 80. And Blue 80 has a package of 3 or 4 different plays in it. And then you could just say audible 3. We're going to run the 3rd play in this audible package. Boom. And you run the play. You get up to the line. You run things fast. You're going to really tire out the defense. And then partway through, okay, we're going to take out that running back for that running back. We'll take out that tight end for that tight end, that receiver from that receiver. Those 2 or 3 offensive linemen will get switched up, and that quarterback for that quarterback. And now you guys go out and run the hurry up. We got a bunch of fresh guys on the field. The defense either has to play their guys tired or put their, they can make their substitution changes. So I like to think of these types of scenarios basically when I go through this type of game theory, situational football as it is. But I know that I'm going to be hearing a lot of people putting all of the blame on Tebow. And he didn't play that bad. He actually played okay. However, he's played worse this year than I thought. Which means to me it's either one of 2 things. It's either the coaching and, you know, I can handle you not going for 2 when you should because the rest of the league doesn't get it. But some of the... I just wish you had better talent. That's all I can say. And I really can't go out and say, well, you should have drafted Aaron Hernandez last year because, one, you never know, Sunday morning quarterback and everything. Although, in theory, by bringing in Aaron Hernandez because he was a college teammate of Tim Tebow and they really needed tight ends would have been big, but even then, I look back at the 2009 draft class and I see, wow, their top 5 picks are all offensive starters right now, and pretty good offensive starters. So, no, they had an amazing draft last year, and that's why if they really build from this, they need a tight end, they need another running back, and they need another quarterback on offense, and they're good to go. Well, I'll talk to you guys later.